welcome to the Mobile in 20 webinar. I'm Kelsey Lund, the Marketing Associate here at eCapital Advisors. Thank you so much for joining us. Today we have Tammy Brasted from eCapital Advisors on the line. So with that, let's get started.
Hi, and welcome to eCapital's Mobile in 20. As Kelsey said, I'm Tammy Brasted. I am the Director of IBM Solutions here at eCapital. And we're here to talk today about something that we found rather interesting and very exciting in the BI arena. The goal of this presentation is to give you some insight into active reporting and mobile reporting. And we've just seen a huge growth in this area, and we'd just like to kind of walk you through some of the things that we're seeing and uses for this technology. Just a little bit about eCapital. eCapital is a heritage Cognos business partner and has been a premier partner with IBM ever since the acquisition. eCapital has about 300 customers, pretty much throughout the center of the United States and west, but we do have customers on the East Coast as well. We're headquartered in Minneapolis. But what's really unique about eCapital is the breadth and depth of employees that they have. eCapital employs accountants and CPAs, business managers, all to help produce the end results that a customer is looking for when they implement business analytic tools. And so it really is what's led eCapital to be so successful in the industry. Today we're going to talk about mobile reporting, and mobile reporting can be a lot of things to a lot of different people. But mainly the goal of mobile reporting is to be able to get information into somebody's hands who might be in a remote location. So whether you're using a handheld device or a tablet, to be able to either connect to Cognos and get that information or deliver information to somebody who's got a tablet device, or even better than that, deliver to somebody who's disconnected but allow them to be interactive in a disconnected nature, is what we've seen just kind of be very prevalent in the marketplace today. The most interesting thing about these different reports, these active reports, they seem to get attention of those executives that tend to flinch towards the shiny things, right? The shiny object, I have to have the new shiny object. They can't keep their attention for very long. But active reports seem to fit that bill in their ability to be very graphical, very graphically intense, but very interactive and very easy to tell a story. Tell a story to a customer about what products they're buying and what they should be buying, or tell a story to a prospect about where their insurance claims are at this particular time. So as we walk through this, I'm going to show you a few examples of these shiny objects. So we can take a look at some of the value that they're bringing to our customers. What is an active report? An active report is an MHT file, which is a standalone file, and I like to describe it as a PDF on steroids. It's a compressed data file, which will allow you to interact with that file. It'll allow you to have the visual impact that you're drilling up or drilling down. You can change different display types. You can change different data types that you're looking at. You can filter on data. You can sort data as you walk through these different type of reports. These reports are created in the same environment that you use to create any of the other reports for Cognos, created in Report Studio. And then they can be deployed through a number of different mechanisms, but they're typically either emailed out to an end user or they're pushed out to an end user. One of the exciting things that eCapital has learned over the years is that, or over the innovation of this product, is when we go out and talk to a customer about it, what they really want is that end game very quickly, which has encouraged eCapital to develop something called our Innovation Center. And basically what our Innovation Center will do is help us get these reports in the hands of the salespeople as we're doing the implementation for Cognos, or at least to help the learning curve if they're an existing customer of Cognos, help that learning curve so they can get these into production as soon as possible. So let's do this. Let's kind of switch from this slide deck for a moment, and let's take a look at a couple of these different reports. One couple of things I want to show you first. So this is actually a screenshot of my iPad. So on my iPad, what I've actually done is I've gone out to iTunes and I've downloaded an app called IBM Cognos. It's a free app that will download to my iPad. And when I open it up, it looks a lot like this. So if I was going to log directly into Cognos, I would select that first area at the top where it says IBM Cognos Mobile. When I select that area, what I'll be asked to do is to log in. So I'll put in the URL to our Cognos implementation. It'll need my ID and password to get in, and then it'll display to me all the information that I have in the public folders that I can run reports on. So any report that I have access to when I'm logged into Cognos as an end user, I would have access to as I'm logged in as a user of the tool. This second area down here is where I'm going to start to store those samples that I have of these active reports. So again, the active report could either be downloaded to me or it can be pushed up to me, and I've got it in my application, so to speak, on the iPad. The other kind of very cool piece about this is there's built-in communications into these active reports. So as I open up an active report, I can actually hit the email button that you see in the upper right-hand corner. And it's going to allow me to go in and actually using standard iPad features, right, where I'm going to use my hand and draw the circle and type the word what. And it's going to allow me to email that to the appropriate person so they can take a look into why I'm trending negatively for my different policies here for my insurance program. But that's been a feature that a lot of end users have found, and particularly executives have found very helpful as they look at these active reports, and it allows them to again communicate clearly with their staff as to what they want them to be working on. All right, now let's go look at those active reports. So let me minimize this, and let me go to my sales and marketing dashboard. So I'm going to maximize this. Oops, that's not the one I wanted. I want this one. Hang on. Okay, so let's look at SmartCo first. So SmartCo is a example company that wanted to deliver financials, and we've seen this happen a lot with companies that have to deliver financial packages to maybe it's their individual retail sites or their individual healthcare sites or whatever. But what they need to do is at the end of every month or at the end of every week, send them a report that has their information in it. So as I come and look at this, I'm going to select the income statement. Again, I haven't connected to anything. All I'm doing is looking at my iPad. I'm using all my standard gestures that I've got the ability to use. So I'm looking at quarter one of my income statement. Maybe I want to look at quarter two. I can simply say I want to drag this over to quarter two. I want to drag this over to quarter three. I want to drag this over to quarter four. Got the ability to navigate that way. Maybe what I want to do is roll back to quarter three, and then maybe what I'd like to do is filter on a particular region, right? So I can see the central region wasn't doing that well. What's the western region doing? Well, they're doing obviously better than the central region. I can look at this information as a crosstab, or I can look at the expense detail that goes with it in a chart form, which is going to start to break down for me all my different expenses, my payroll, my office expenses that way. And I could continue to drill into this if that was the intention of this report. Let's go to the balance sheet. If I select the balance sheet up here, what I've got is kind of a summary of my total assets and liabilities, right? If I'd like the next level of detail, I simply just click on this, and it will bring me to that next level of detail. I can see that detail in a long list, if that's what I'd like, or I actually can move this over and I can see this side by side. Let's go to my cash flow, right? So there's my beginning cash flow. It goes through all my quarters, shows me my ending cash flow. And again, if I want to see details to that, I simply select it and it will bring me down to the next level of detail. Let's look at another report. Let's look at this insurance report. So if I go into my metric analysis here, what you can see is, first off, we're going to do the status reporting, right? So a lot of folks are looking at doing scorecards, right? Give me my red light, green light. I want to, at a glance, very quickly see how my different areas are going. So I can see, for example, in this metrics list that my app submitted is exactly where I want it to be, and I'm trending in a positive direction. However, if I look at my new policies, my status is red. I'm nowhere near where I want to be, and I'm not trending in the right direction either. So again, it would allow me to begin to do further analysis and drill into this information. Maybe what I want to do is take a look at this not nationally, but by regionally, right? I can simply select this and look at this information regionally and see how we're trending for each one of the regions. I can look at renewal retention for a particular region, again, and watching my apps as they've been submitted and how they're trending. If I go to my regional analysis, I can begin to start breaking down my different regions in my different territories. So for example, maybe I select the Midwest. I can see things from the Midwest. And if you're noticing down here at the bottom, I actually have the dots, which are the swipe motions that you would use on an iPad. So if I want to go to the next one, right, I can see my renewal rankings for each one of the states in the West, right? I can come back and see the Northwest, and I can see the Northeast, along with my national view. In my regional details, I can begin to bring this down by new business, you know, how am I trending for my new business? I can look at my new business by my different territories, right? And I can look at my renewal retention by my different areas as well, by simple selections. Inventory. This is actually a pretty interesting report, right? So what do I want to look at when I'm looking for inventory? I want to look at my quantity shipped versus what was expected, and I can look at my opening and closing inventories. And I can simply do that by navigating through each one of these buttons, right? I can begin, you can see I'm looking at the Americas here. If I select, I'm looking at Asia Pacific. I can look at Europe, and I can look at Northern Europe. I can begin to drill in to my different inventory sources by simply selecting them. And again, I find my key metrics indicators across the top. I'm looking at 2012. Maybe I'd like to compare that to what was happening in 2011. I can simply toggle between each one of those. I can even navigate between my different product lines at this point. And so I'm looking at my failed orders by product. So I'm looking at my camping equipment, you know, what was incomplete or wrong ordered or whatever. I can look at that for golf equipment. I can look at that for mountaineering equipment. And I can look at that for outdoor protection. Let's go to the telco. This report kind of follows a little bit more of the Stephen Few methodology of dashboards. And what Stephen Few says is that reports, you should be able to look at a report and not have to have all the legends. So if I'm looking at revenue and the number's going up, I know that's good. If it's going down, it's not good. And this report very simply will walk me through those types of things. So I've got Stephen Few spark lines over here telling me my different revenue for my different regions. I've got my region over here, which is going to allow me to look at my different areas and what's going on in my different areas of the region. I've got a bubble chart that's going to allow me to look at things by quarter, right? So as I move, I can actually see my bubbles changing in that quarter. I'm looking up here at my new activations and my different plans, right? I can navigate through a portion of this page as well and take a look at my different areas. You can see broadband's changing up there. There's prepaid. There's individual. I can come back to family plan, which was back over here. So in each one of these examples, right, I've got the ability to navigate. The graphics in these are excellent enough that I can use them almost like a corporate brochure and take these into a customer and present the net results of what we need to show a customer right through the right from my iPad and right in front of these different customers. So maybe what we want to do is open this up for questions, see if we have any. So do we have any questions? Anybody have any thoughts about active reports, possible uses? Kelsey, I think that's a no. Did you find this helpful? Well, I'd like to thank everybody for joining us today for the Mobile in 20, and we look forward to talking with you at another topic on another day.